NLWN-TV presents the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Now, join us as we get ready for baseball in the dugout.
Hello, and welcome to today's edition of In the Dugout. Rick Olson here in the NLWN-TV studios, and we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's non-league game as the Eau Claire Cavaliers take on the New Richmond Millers, who play in the St. Croix Valley League, where they are 0-4 and 1-4 overall. Now, coming up in this edition of In the Dugout, we'll take a look at today's matchup between the Cavs and the New Richmond Millers. Then we'll get Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's outlook on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. Following that, even though this game is not a league game, it would be a good idea to take a quick look around the Chippewa River Baseball League to see where things stand. Also, we'll take a moment to get to know one of this season's Cavalier players in Cavalier Profile. Finally, we'll bring you all the play-by-play action of today's game from Carson Park. So it's time to get ready for some baseball action, and we'll do just that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear, call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Very shortly, the Eau Claire Cavaliers will take on the New Richmond Millers in a non-league game. The Cavaliers are coming off a game played yesterday against the Eau Claire Rivermen. However, that game was played after the recording of this In the Dugout show. So we'll have to fill you in on the details during today's game. The Millers come into this weekend with a 1-4 overall record and are also 1-4 in the St. Croix Valley League. Now, coming into this weekend, the Millers got off to a rusty start and dropped their first 4 games of the season. Then, on Saturday, the Millers were down 7-3 heading into the 5th inning against the Plum City Blues when they decided enough is enough. Brady Cunningham buckled down on the mound, and the Millers tied the game in the bottom of the 9th. Then in the 10th inning, Cunningham drove the ball into the gap in left center field to drive in the winning run. Now, coming into this weekend, the Cavaliers have been led at the plate by Sam Knickerbocker, who's hitting at a .378 pace, including 5 runs scored and 4 doubles. He's been followed by Xavier Bemnister at .364 with 12 runs scored and 3 doubles. Brayton Tillman at .343, Cody Dayton at .333, and Cade Mueller at .313 round out the Cavaliers hitting over .300. Caden Erickson leads the Cavaliers in extra base hits with 5 doubles. On the mound, the Cavaliers are being led by Andrew Milner, who has a 3-1 record with an ERA of 3.14 and a whip of 1.43 in 28 2/3 innings pitched. Milner leads the team in strikeouts with 35. Right behind Milner is Eli Rathke, who has a 2-0 record and a whip of 1.66. Tyson Woodcock, who's pitched 13 1/3 innings without allowing any earned runs, for a record of 1-0 with 3 saves and an ERA of 0.00. The Cavaliers have had complete game performances by Rathke, Jackson Vance, and Mason Yarrington. Now, coming up following this timeout, we'll get to find out Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister's thoughts on today's game in the Ryan Bemnister Show. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 22nd when the Phoenix will face the Wisconsin Ravens at Carson Park. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 22nd.
The Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire presents The Ryan Bembnister Show, where Cavalier manager Ryan Bembnister gives us his perspective on today's game. And now, The Ryan Bembnister Show.
Once again, we're at the Goat Coffee House talking with Cavalier manager Ryan Bembnister. And Ryan, today the Cavaliers will wrap up what could be described as the busiest weekend thus far this season for the Cavaliers as they take on the new
Three
Richmond.
games.
Yeah.
3 games.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas.
They're taking on the new Richmond Millers. Now, before we get to this game, the Cavaliers, they play 20 games in the CRBL schedule and nearly as many non-league games. There are many teams within routine traveling distance from Eau Claire who are not part of the CRBL. What determines which teams get scheduled for those non-league games?
Really, when I look at the list that's given to me by Nicole and those guys on the board, Randy and stuff, I look at teams that are contenders in the WBA, that are, every year type of thing, not just like a splash in the pan, but we want to play against teams that are consistently playing for state championships in the WBA. Whether they have a great record or not great record, if they make the WBA, you're a good team. Standards for that are a little bit different, so that's the one thing I look at. And the other thing I look at is, like, is there any new teams in the area that we should maybe get them some games against us, come to Carson, kind of get a rapport with those guys for an every year, kind of make it a tradition thing. We've got that kind of started with, we got had Bruce come in this year. They're a new team to the whole WBA system. Menominee just reformed a team. They're going to try to join one of the leagues in the WBA and maybe next year be part of the WBA. Right now it's just a trial period for them, I believe. So that's the other aspect of it. So I want constant contenders in the WBA, and I want new teams, just a fresh look for our guys, and new areas to go to or new guys to see.
Now, some of the teams, such as last Friday's opponent, the Hudson River Rats, and let's say the La Crescent Cardinals, they seem to be regular opponents for the Cavaliers. But today's opponent, the New Richmond Millers, haven't faced the Cavaliers, well, in at least 10 years. That's as far back as I looked, maybe ever. What drew you to the Millers?
Honestly, that one was a surprise to me too. When I got my list, I saw them on there. I'm like, when was the last time we played these guys? When was the last time we even tried to contact these guys? This is my first year doing the schedule. So I'm like, I'll just throw a text out there to the coach and see what's going on. And he was one of the first ones to respond to me. So it was easy to put him on the schedule. So I'm like, hey, this is perfect. Come on over. Let's play some baseball. This will be fun. So it was just kind of you want to call it a luck of the text. Maybe he was hanging out on his phone at the right time, maybe whatever. But, a lot of these teams have been around for a long time. And New Richmond's been around for a long time, too. They get their schedules done way early. So we're always a little bit later because we got to wait for our CRBL schedule to be given to us. Obviously, you don't want to schedule a non-conference on a conference day, right?
Right.
So we got to wait for that to get done. And our schedule gets done a little bit later. So a lot of these teams are kind of on standby, and they can only wait so long. So that's where we lose out on a few, and some of them are like us. New Richmond is one of those teams where they didn't have, they're like, yeah, we just got our conference schedule, so we're good to go. I know exactly what's going on. So it's nice to have conversations with people you don't know, and then I'll get to meet him today and have a nice conversation with him in person as opposed to texting.
Well, last season the Cavaliers went 7-11 in non-league games, and I know that upset a few fans, but that also allowed a lot of players to gain some game time seasoning and better prepare them for a run in the WBA playoffs, which they did last year and ran very deep into the playoffs.
Where did we end up in the WBA?
Jeez, you were in the Final Four. Or, well, you just missed the Final Four.
Just missed the Final Four, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I want to clarify for what we're going to go to next that we were just outside of the Final Four in the state of Wisconsin.
So is that still the game plan?
The game plan has not changed with those non-conference games. And as frustrating as it may be with some fans or people, they have to understand the reason we were in the semifinals of the CRBL and just outside of the Final Four in the WBA is because those important games that we had to play to get into where we were at were players that played in those non-conference games because the guys that were playing in all of our conference games weren't there.
Yeah, they were heading back to school.
They had to go back to school. Work stuff came up. We had a lot of guys leave. I mean, we carried a roster of 22 guys last year, I believe, 23 guys, right around that. And we were carrying 14 guys at state. And you just and we won a bunch of games, a couple of games with call-up guys last year too. Just to be clear on that, our July call-ups.
And at least one of those is now a permanent member of the roster.
100%, and batting very well, and he's consistently in the lineup. So it's people have to understand that the records don't matter. It's the playing time of the guys that aren't getting the Caden Ericksons, the Hobbs, the Cole Tymans, those guys that are getting all the innings. They want a day off too, and they might miss a game, and we need somebody to fill in for those guys.
And those guys need to be ready to step out.
And they gotta be ready, and that's what these non-conference games are going to be like. So you're going to see, you've already seen it this year, non-conference. I don't think there's been a non-conference game where everybody didn't play. We had everybody in the lineup at some point doing something in every non-conference game, and that's a big deal because, A, those guys are showing up to play. They deserve to play. So now they're getting playing time, which may equate to more playing time and or filling in an important situation. So as far as was it 7-11 last year?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even know where we set a non-conference on our record this year. Do you have an idea? It's right around 500 or a game over.
Yeah.
At least, and we played really good teams in the WBA in our non-conference schedule. So why would I show them my best stuff when we might see them in the regional area or the state area? It doesn't make any sense to me.
So who is getting the call to the mound today?
We're going to go with Eli. And we're hoping Eli comes with his bounce back start, from his last one where he just struggled a little bit in Augusta. But again, that kid comes to battle, and I hope we get the 9-inning 2-run Eli today, against the Richmond. We'll see where it goes, but we're going to give it to Eli, and he's been one of our more dependable guys that can step up in non-conference games or fill a role here and there. I mean, he's even played some third base for us and a few at-bats, things like that. So that's going to be really important going forward as we get into a heavier conference schedule. Lucas isn't around as much. I mean, he still lives at home, but he's traveling for work. So he is not my number 1-2 guy ain't there. So right. I need somebody to be that number 2 guy behind Andrew Milner. So somebody's going to have to step up.
And Eli has shown the ability to do that. It's just he had a rough outing last time out.
And that's the thing. You just count it as a rough outing. And we're going to get back with a non-conference game, get his feet wet again, get him comfortable again, and then we'll go into the real play of the conference play, the next weekend.
Well, Ryan, good luck on today's game. Hopefully the Cavs will not only season some of those players, but put a notch in the victory column as well.
I really hope so. And it's Father's Day, so come on out and watch baseball.
That's right.
Who doesn't want to watch baseball on Father's Day?
Yeah, my father and I used to do that all the time.
It's what you should do. It should be the pastime of Father's Day. Find a ball game to go to. I don't care where it is. Come on down to Carson. Go wherever else somebody else is playing.
Oh, heck,
watch
I
baseball
do.
today.
Come to the Cavs.
Okay, fine. Go there.
You've been tuned to the Ryan Bempnister Show presented by the Goat Coffee House on Water Street in Eau Claire, with Cavalier manager Ryan Bempnister's outlook on today's game. Stay tuned. More of In the Dugout is coming right up.
Honey, the kids are antsy. What can we do that will keep all of us entertained and won't break the bank?
How about we take them to the Cavaliers game? Tickets are inexpensive, there's popcorn, hot dogs, and other baseball treats, and great baseball action.
That's right, Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball, your best choice for affordable family entertainment. Check out the schedule at www.eauclaircavaliers.org.
Welcome back to In the Dugout as we're getting ready to bring you all the action of today's non-league contest between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the New Richmond Millers. Even though today's game is not a Chippewa River Baseball League game, it's a good idea to take a quick look around the CRBL to see where things stand. There was action in the CRBL yesterday. However, those games were played after the recording of this edition of In the Dugout. Those games included the Cavaliers taking on the Eau Claire Rivermen at Fairfax Park in Eau Claire, while the Tilden Tigers hosted the Beef River Bullfrogs at Halley Park, and the Cadott Red Sox traveled to John Soini Field in Osseo to take on the Osseo Merchants. We'll fill you in on those results during today's game. Now, coming into this weekend, the CRBL standings were as follows. In the North Division, there's been some shifting around. In first place are the Tilden Tigers at 6-3. In second place, we find the Cadott Red Sox a half a game back at 6-4. Third place belongs to the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks at 5-4 and only a half a game out, while the Jim Falls Sturgeons are in fourth place at 4-6 and 2.5 games back. Fifth place finds the Bloomer Woodticks at 1-8 and 5 games back. In the South Division, there's also a flip-flop at the division top. The Eau Claire Bears at 9-3 have taken over the top spot, while the Osseo Merchants are in second place and 1 game back at 6-2. The Eau Claire Cavaliers are in third at 5-4 and only 2.5 games off the pace, while the Eau Claire Rivermen are right behind the Cavaliers at 3-4 and 3.5 games off the pace. The Augusta Athletics at 4-6 are 4 games out and occupy fifth place, and the Beef River Bullfrogs are taking the sixth spot at 1-6. In CRBL action this weekend today, the Eau Claire Rivermen will travel to Casper Park in Chippewa Falls to face the Chippewa Falls Lumberjacks in a doubleheader, while the Jim Falls Sturgeons will host the Cadott Red Sox at Grudem Field in Jim Falls for a single game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get to know one of this season's Cavalier players on Cavalier Profile. You're tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Time now to get to know a Cavalier player on Cavalier Profile. We'll get to know a little better who plays on this year's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball team. And now, Cavalier Profile.
Today on Cavalier Profile, we're talking with Cade Mueller. And Cade, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you grew up, different levels of ball that you've played, and so on.
So I grew up from Coal City, Illinois. It's south of Joliet, if some people might not know where that's at. I played all since I was little, since I was able to walk. I played travel baseball my whole life. Then I was fortunate enough to play high school as well, and then I got able to play college baseball as well at the university here at Eau Claire, and I'm still doing that to this day right now.
Okay, so when you're not playing baseball, what are some other things that keep you interested or occupied?
Definitely hanging out with my buddies as much as I can, spending time with them, spending time with my family, friends, stuff like that, and just basically hanging out with them. Spend a lot of my time, yep.
Okay, so a few rapid fire questions for you here. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Oh, ice cream for sure.
What kind?
Chocolate chip cookie dough.
Okay, all right. That gets the cookie covered as well.
Oh, yeah.
Burgers, brats, or hot dogs?
Burgers for sure.
What do you want on that burger?
Everything. Literally everything. Everything but mustard.
Okay, all right. If they find it, put it on there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Favorite major league team?
Ooh, Chicago Cubs.
All right. Now, think back in all of baseball history. If there's a baseball personality, whether it's a player or some other personality like Harry Carey or something like that, who would you like to sit down and have a talk with?
That is a great question. Who would I like to sit down and have a talk with? Probably either Derek Jeter or Brandon Phillips, the second baseman for the Reds.
Okay, and
he was my favorite player growing up for sure. Yeah.
All right. Now, if you had a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Ooh, superpower. Definitely to fly. Being able to fly, that'd be definitely up there for me.
It makes you get places quicker.
Oh, yeah. Save a lot of money on travel for sure.
And, of course, if you have the ability to fly, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what's your superhero name?
We'll go... That's a great... I have no idea what my superhero name would be.
I'd throw Miles Mueller out there at you because you're going to cover all those miles.
That's a good one. Yeah, that's creative. Miles Mueller would be a great one for sure.
All right, we're talking with Cade Mueller here on Cavalier Profile. How about a shout out to your family, friends, and people who come and watch you at the ballgame?
Sure, I would definitely shout out my mom and dad. They make it to a lot of games, and they drive back and forth from Illinois to Wisconsin. And also my girlfriend as well. She comes to a lot of games, so shout out to them.
And when people do come to Cavs games to watch you and the Cavaliers play, remind them what number you wear and where we're going to find you on the field.
I'm number 23, and you'll find me over at third base a lot of the time now. I'm over there, and that's my new home.
Okay, we want to thank Cade Mueller for joining us today on Cavalier Profile. Coming up next, more of In the Dugout.
This has been Cavalier Profile, where we get to know a little better who plays on the Cavalier baseball team. Stay tuned, more In the Dugout coming right up.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right, as a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
Welcome back to In the Dugout. Today the Cavaliers will wrap up what has been their busiest weekend thus far this season when they host the New Richmond Millers. This will be the first meeting in over 10 years between the Cavaliers and the Millers. The Cavaliers are still looking to polish up their game before heading into the meat of the CRBL season. The Millers are hoping that last Saturday's come-from-behind win was indicative of the type of play that they'll produce for the rest of the season. Now in just a moment, I'll be joining our broadcast crew at Carson Park as we bring you all the action of today's game between the Eau Claire Cavaliers and the New Richmond Millers. That's coming up next. You've been tuned to In the Dugout on NLWN-TV.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
You've been watching the In the Dugout show with a look at today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Stay tuned! Coming up next is live Eau Claire Cavalier baseball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Sladen's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Sladen's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Sladen's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Sladen's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Sladen's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Eau Claire Cavalier baseball is on the air.
Fly ball out into center field. It's hit hard. It's hit long, and it's gone. A home run for Cole Hyman.
NLWN-TV proudly presents today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. Join us while we follow the Cavaliers as they battle their way through the Chippewa River Baseball League.
Fly ball out into right field. This one's tagged, and it's out of here. Into the fan deck, a 2-run home run by Gabe O'Brien.
And now, out to the ballpark for Eau Claire Cavalier baseball.
And good.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Carson Park. As Rick Olson here, along with Ann Monroe on the computer, Dan Petschow is on the camera, and we're getting ready to bring you a Father's Day edition of Cavalier Baseball as the Cavs are taking on the New Richmond Millers. And we're just a couple minutes away from the start of today's game. Today's game is Roadside Ice Cream and Diner Day, along with Good News Jailhouse Ministry Day. And so that's a mouthful and a half, which Roadside Ice Cream and Diner would be very glad to fill your mouth and a half full of stuff. I'll tell you what, I don't know, Dan, if you've ever been there, but the portions are just huge, whether it's something from ice cream or other whatever they make in the diner. They
Dilly bars. That's what I.
Yeah, well, they've got.
Or not.
They were originally a Dairy Queen.
That's right.
And then they defranchised from Dairy Queen. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but they have similar products. And they do have something that's similar to a dilly bar, only it's about 3 times the size of a dilly bar.
I thought the dilly bar was actually just the shape. I didn't know it was a franchise name.
Oh, yeah, that's a Dairy Queen name, yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, it's Roadside Ice Cream and Diner Day, along with Good News Jailhouse Ministry. And we'll hear from the folks from the Jailhouse Ministry. Katie Lacey will be talking to us in just a little bit. Let me run through the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the New Richmond Millers, leading off at shortstop is Austin Jewell. Batting second, the first baseman, Max Kradovics. Batting third and catching is Bennett Scheidman. Batting fourth, the center fielder, Max Albright. Batting fifth at second base is Tate Magnuson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Brady Cunningham. Batting seventh and pitching is Corbin Reeling. Batting eighth and playing third base is Dan Ragsdale. Batting ninth, playing left field is Brett Vetterkind. And the extra hitter today is Jake Miller. For the Cavaliers, leading off, and Cavalier manager Ryan Bemnister did a little switching around of his lineup today. Batting first is the left fielder, Brayton Tillman. Batting second is center fielder, Trenton Palmer. Batting third, the catcher, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting fourth at shortstop, Caden Erickson. Batting fifth at third base, Xavier Bemnister. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Cade Mueller. Batting seventh at second base, Cody Dayton. Batting eighth at first base, Carson Windeshausen. Batting ninth, the extra hitter, Jerome Delakowski. And batting 10th, the designated hitter, Dalton Steele. On the mound for the Cavaliers with a record of 2 wins and no losses is Eli Rathke. The managers are having their discussion down around home plate with the umpires. And we'll be back with opening ceremonies right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Rick Olson, Ann Monroe, Dan Petchow, and we're getting ready to bring you the game today between the Cavaliers and the New Richmond Millers. And we're going to turn it over to PA announcer Steve Kent with the opening ceremonies.
Please retract all balls with souvenir staff. Located out there, anybody with your one dollar token for use with souvenir staff. As a friendly reminder, Turf Park Baseball Stadium is a non-season facility. It can be much smaller. Yes, you can easily use stadium. Again, there is nothing still here in Carson Park Baseball Stadium. Thank you. Finally, all fans, especially those in bleachers, are reminded We're at a baseball game, call ball, but he stands at a high rate of speed. We have to do an anywhere at all times. Before we get today's game, and Richmond Miller, our Cavaliers would like to wish all the dads out there happy Father's Day. To every baseball player that who believes in himself, the dad who believe in and practice with him first. The dad is a part-time lawn partner and part-time pitching machine, part-time baseball clinic, and full-time dad. Again, happy Father's Day. Flames, roadside ice cream and diner, good and Jill mystery starting lineups, beginning with the New Richmond Millers. Leading off, playing shortstop, number 12, Austin Jewell. Batting second, the first baseman, the number 7, Mets. Turner. Batting third, the catcher, number 35, Bennett Scribner. Batting fourth, the center fielder, number 13, Hart Albright. Batting fifth and playing second base, number 30, Tate Magnuson. Batting sixth, the right fielder, number 31, Brady Cunningham. Hitting seventh, the pitcher, number 27, Corbin Dryland. Batting eighth and playing third base, number 17, Dan Drake-Dale. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 25, Brett Flanagan. Hitting 10th, the extra hitter, number 40, Jacob Miller. Richmond is managed by Ryan Stevens and he is assisted by John Bell. Now, the roadside ice cream and diner greeting with Bill Hendry starting lineup for your very own Eau Claire Cavaliers. Leading off, coming up field, Grayson Swing. Number 22, Trenton Hammer. Third, catching, number 35, Sam Knickerbocker. Batting cleanup, the shortstop, for 6, Keaton Pearson. That's good, I'm joining third base, 4, Xavier Bannister. 26, the right fielder, number 27, Cade Mueller. 7th, the second baseman, number 25, Joey Keaton. And from first base, number 32, Carson Sullivan. Now the 9th, the extra hitter, number 44, Big Sexy Jerome Valkowski. 10th, he doesn't need a hitter, number 24, Dalton Steele. Now, first of the Cavaliers, which is number 2, Eli Crafty. No, we're going to name it again. This is Coffee, Ryan Dunster. He's assisted by Ryan Meyer, and the Rhino, Ryan Page. Let's give a warm welcome to our officials for today's game.
And about ready to do the national anthem in this game will be Ellie Glass.
Now, please rise if you're able and honor America by removing your hats with the singing of our national anthem by Miss Ellie Glass.
Oh, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the the walls bursting gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Miss Ellie Glass with our national anthem. And coming up next, I believe we will have a few words about the Good News Jailhouse Ministry from Katie Lacey. Or maybe she's just going to throw out the first pitch. She's towing the rubber. Oh, that was right there. So Katie Lacey from Good News Jailhouse Ministry. And now she's going to give us a few words.
Jail ministry.
We're looking for a place for Big Happy Father's Day to all our fathers. We thank you for the Syrians. And we as Good News Jail and Prison Ministry, also known as Good News Global, we have chaplains and volunteers who serve a population of men and women who are broken and may not necessarily have fathers in their lives. Some may not even know who their father is. And we serve Claire, Chippewa, Trumbull, Buffalo, Pepin, we have a unique opportunity in our ministry because most jails we do not hire chaplains. So we place chaplains behind bars. Good News Global brings hope to the forgotten. We introduce them to a heavenly Father who wants to become what their earthly father become. And so we conduct Bible studies, we do church services, we do one-to-ones, and we focus on programs to encourage them in their faith in our Lord Jesus Christ. So reach out to us and say hi. We'd love to share more with you. Thank you very much.
So that's Katie Lacey from Good News Jailhouse Ministries. Hey, there was some CRBL action that took place yesterday. Let's take a quick look at those. Tilden Tigers swept a doubleheader from the Beef River Bullfrogs, taking the first one 13-3, and just barely sneaking by in the second game 8-7. The Osseo Merchants had a doubleheader with the Cadott Red Sox, and the Merchants swept that doubleheader, winning the first game 2-0 and capturing the second 6-0. Not to be outdone, the Eau Claire Cavaliers, behind the strength of a no-hitter by Andrew Milner. That's right, a no-hitter by Andrew Milner. The Cavaliers defeated the Eau Claire Rivermen 12-0. And we are just about ready to get this one started. Taking a quick look at the Cavaliers defensively. Knickerbocker behind the plate. Bemnisters at third. Erickson's at short. Dayton at second. Windishausen at first. Tillman, Palmer, and Mueller going from left to right. Leading off for the Millers, Austin Jewell, the shortstop. And the first pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. Last we checked, the Millers have a record of 1 win and 4 losses. That pitch is outside. Wide open stance by Jewell. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Rathke struggled his last outing, but up until then, he had been very effective. That pitch is outside. And the 2-2 pitch. That was inside. The payoff pitch. Hopper right back to Rathke. Throw over to Windishausen at first, and the out is complete. Max Kredovics.
First baseman.
Kredovics. Dan's nodding. Yes, that's how it's Kredovics. It'll probably take me to about the 6th inning to get that right. Here's the pitch. That's all. Oh, called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rathke winds and delivers. Foul ball down the right side. And it's now ball 2. And a fly ball out into center field, heading back and making the catch is Palmer. A lot of range Palmer had to cover, but he got back there. So that's going to bring up Bennett Scheidman. Boy, I'm thankful Dan went down and got those pronunciations on those names. And Dan went and got pronunciations, and evidently we had the wrong name. It's Scribner. Bennett Scribner. At any rate, the count is 0-2. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out towards right field, and that's going to fall foul. Only about a foot outside the line. That had extra bases written on it. Mueller had a long way to go. He wasn't going to get there. And the count holds at 0-2. Here's the wind in the pitch. Ground ball over to short. Erickson scoops it up, throws it over to Windishausen, and they got him. It was close, but they got him. So for the Millers, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we played a half inning, and it's the Millers nothing, Cavaliers coming to bat on NLWN-TV.
Menominee Eye and Optical can help you see the world for the beautiful place it is. Doctors Nicholas and Marianne Comro provide comprehensive and emergency eye care for all, including pediatric and special needs patients. Whether it's examination for glasses to cataract or LASIK care, or diagnosis and management of macular degeneration, and so much more. In addition, Menominee Eye and Optical's experienced opticians will help guide you to the highest quality eyewear for the best value. That's Menominee Eye and Optical, 520 Wilson Avenue in Menominee, where they specialize in quality personalized care for you and your family.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
So we're back here at Carson Park, getting ready to head into the bottom of the first inning. Scoreless top half, and the Cavaliers will come to bat. Due up for the Cavaliers, like I mentioned, a little bit different batting order. I'll be curious after the game is over to get Ryan Bemnister's thoughts about that. Brayton Tillman, Trenton Palmer, and Sam Knickerbocker are due up for the Cavs. So two out of these first three hitters are the two leading hitters for the Cavaliers so far this season. Brayton Tillman comes to the plate. He's batting .350. And the first pitch is a strike at the letters. On the mound, Corbin Reeling. And the pitch. That's high. Counts even at 1-1. Reeling at the belt. And he delivers. Swing and a miss, strike two. And the pitch. Fly ball out into left center field. Moving over and making the catch is Vetterkind. That'll bring up Trenton Palmer, the center fielder. Palmer hitting .250. Reeling delivers. And there's a fly ball out into center field, coming in hard as Albright, and he got there and makes the catch. That's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker's leading the Cavaliers in batting, and he's hitting .380.
The catcher, 25, Sam Knickerbocker.
Here's the pitch. Ground ball over to short, scooped up by Job. No, he dropped it, and Knickerbocker's going to be safe at first. Looked like Jewell had a beat on it, and the ball just kind of skipped up out of his glove. And we're going to have a courtesy runner coming in for Knickerbocker. Tyson Woodcock.
Tyson.
And that'll bring up Caden Erickson. Caden Erickson's batting .259. He's been struggling a little bit this year, but his bat is sure starting to show some signs of life. That one's high and tight for ball one. Reeling at the belt, glances over at first, and now delivers. Strike called in the inside corner. Behind the plate is Austin Patro calling balls and strikes. Out on the bases is Paul Osman. Throw over to first and back in time is Woodcock. That was more of a I see you over there throw by Reeling. Just to hold him close. There's the pitch. It's low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. 2 down, runner on first. And the pitch, runner goes, check swing, ball sliding into second, and they got him. So Woodcock gets caught stealing. And for the Cavaliers, no runs, no hits. There was one error by the Millers and nobody left on base. We've played an inning and no score from Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Sun splashed Carson Park. It was cloudy this morning. We had quite a bit of rain last night, but the field looks like it's in excellent condition. It's a warm and going to get warmer day today and feels kind of humid. Makes me think of the Nat King Cole song about those lazy, hazy, crazy days of summer. You know, the days of soda and pretzels and beer.
Yeah, he got done with school for the year, and he had all summer just to run around and do what you want. And the parents never knew where you were.
Well, now, Dan, we would never encourage anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Albright at the plate. And the first pitch is low for a ball.
Hey, all we had to do is go home. There'd be a sandwich waiting at lunchtime, and then we'd go back out.
He fouled that one over into the Cavalier dugout. 1 ball, 1 strike.
We never broke any bones. We're all good.
And the pitch. Fly ball, foul territory on the left side, and it's going to fall in to no man's land there. Nobody could quite get to it.
2 half balls.
Yeah, they made some effort at it. Bemnister lost his hat. Tillman lost his hat. I don't know what the matter with Erickson is. His hat stayed on.
I think he's using staples this year. Oh.
Yeah, stapling it to his head. Okay. Here's the pitch. That was inside for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. To Mark Albright. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. I'll bring up Tate Magnuson. Magnuson is the second baseman.
For Tate Magnuson.
And there's a strike. No balls and 1 strike to Magnuson. Rathke's pitch swung on a miss. Strike 2. We got him with a curveball there. That ball just dove right out of the zone when it got to the plate.
Yeah, he knew it too.
The 0-2 pitch. Ground ball over towards short. Erickson has it. Throw to first, and they got him. That was by about a half a step.
Yeah, Windhausen has that nice stretch that'll help with his defense.
It's a good thing, too, because he would have beat that if it would have been a guy like me standing out there where the ball has to go another 6 feet. Brady Cunningham steps to the plate. Cunningham playing right field for the Millers. Here's the pitch. That's a little high for a ball. And the pitch. High pop up infield. Erickson's under it and makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down for the Millers. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base, and we've completed an inning and a half with no score at Carson Park on NLWN-TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
And we're back here at Carson Park, and the Ospreys are celebrating Father's Day at the ballpark. The Eau Claire Ospreys. I think I see a head poking up out there.
So, right there.
So, leading off for the Cavaliers, shortstop, Caden Erickson. We do want to wish everyone a very happy Father's Day, all the fathers out there. And that pitch is outside for ball one. In fact, I would like to dedicate this broadcast to the memory of my father, because this is what we used to do on Father's Day as we would come to Cavalier games. There's one that's low out and outside. 2-0 is the count to Erickson. He was at bat when Woodcock was caught stealing. Here's the pitch. That was inside. 3-0 now the count. Corbin Reeling on the mound. Here's the get me over pitch, and he didn't. Ball 4 as Erickson's on first. It's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister. Bemnister batting .340. Playing third base today. If he's not in center field, he's probably at third base or DHing. Erickson takes his lead, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Reeling looks over first as Erickson takes his lead. Erickson goes, and the catcher, Scheidman, dropped the ball. He would have had a tough time getting him anyway. Erickson got a really good jump. A ball and a strike to Bemnister. And that one's outside. 2-1 is the count. Erickson at second, nobody out. And the pitch is inside. Count goes to 3-1. As I said, Bemnister batting .340, and this is a hitter's pitch. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out into left field. Betterkind moves over. He makes the catch. It's going to bring up Cade Mueller. Mueller playing right field today, batting .350.
Base, Cavaliers, 17.
And the pitch is outside for ball 1 to Mueller. Erickson takes his lead at second with 1 out. And the pitch to Mueller. That's low for a ball. Reeling didn't like that call. You could see it in his body language.
Yeah, maybe it was just a little low.
He looks over at second. And the 2-0 pitch. Erickson goes. Ground ball over to third. And the third baseman touches it, but it was in foul territory. So 2 balls and a strike to Cade Mueller. Reeling looks at second. And the pitch. There's a ground ball just past third base into left field. Erickson rounds third. He's heading to the plate, and he's going to come in and score. And into second goes Cade Mueller. And the Cavaliers take a 1-0 lead. And that's going to bring up Cody Dayton. Cade Mueller on second. 1 out, 1 run in. Dayton batting .281. And there's a pitch on the outside corner. Mueller takes his lead. And the pitch. That one's outside. Mueller on second, taking a lead. And the pitch. That's inside. On 1 to Cody Dayton. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. It rolled out in front of the plate, but it came right off the plate. It might have even come off Dayton. Bounce even at 2-2. Reeling at the belt and delivers. That's outside for ball 3. Full count now. The payoff pitch to Dayton. Fly ball out into left field. That one's fairly deep, and it's off the wall. Mueller rounds third. He's going to come in and score. Dayton's got to have a stand-up double. Well, Cody Dayton bounced that one off the Oak Leaf Clinic sign out there and put himself on second base, but more importantly, he put Cade Mueller across the plate. So the Cavs are on top 2-0. And the pitch is outside. Carson Windeshausen at the plate. Swing and a miss. Counts even at 1-1. Windeshausen has brought his batting average up from the cellar up to 220 now and climbing. These are very positive things. Here's the pitch. High pop foul. It's playable. Moving over is Kardovic. Told you it's going to take me to the 6th inning to get that name right. He made the catch. It's going to bring up Jerome Delikowski the extra hitter. And we've been saying it all season. We're just waiting for this big guy to get a hold of a big ball because I know that he can send it for a ride. He's batting 148 right now. That first pitch was high. And the pitch. That was low. 2 balls and no strikes. And another one down low. Reeling delivers. There's a strike. That's the get me over pitch. 3 balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. High chopper over towards short, fielded there by Jewell. Throw to first, and they got him. But the Cavaliers pick up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were no errors and 1 man left on base. We've completed 2, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 22nd when the Phoenix will face the Wisconsin Ravens at Carson Park. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 22nd.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my 3rd child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
Going into the top of the 3rd inning, due up for the New Richmond Millers. The pitcher, Corbin Reeling, then Dan Ragsdale and Brett Vetterkind. So Reeling steps in. Rathke winds and fires, and he got Reeling right in the hip. Well, it didn't look like it did any damage. He trotted down there without any trouble. Dan Ragsdale comes to the plate. And the pitch. Soft fly ball out into center field, but moving over is Palmer, and he makes the catch. It's going to bring the left fielder, Brett Vetterkind. Here's the pitch. Inside for a ball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. And it's foul tip back. Rathke delivers the 1-2 pitch. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Strike three, and the throw down to second is not in time.
Number 40, Miller.
So Jacob Miller, the extra hitter, is at the plate. And that one missed low. And there's a ground ball. Sounded like a broken bat. Throw over to first is in time for the third out of the inning. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. So we've played 2.5, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 715-586-1302. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 22nd when the Phoenix will face the Wisconsin Ravens at Carson Park. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 22nd.
So we're back here at Carson Park. And heading into the bottom of the third inning.
It's 1-4. It's Steele.
Who up for the Cavaliers? Dalton Steele. Then he'll be followed by the top of the order with Brayton Tillman and Trenton Palmer. Steele comes into the game batting 167. Swing and a miss for strike one. Reeling looks in and delivers. That one missed for a ball. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Kind of jammed him with that pitch. And there's a called third strike on Dalton Steele. Takes us back to the top of the order. Brayton Tillman, who flew out to left his first time up. And the first pitch missed for a ball. Reeling delivers. And it's outside, ball two. And the 2-0 pitch. That's high and away, ball three. Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That's a strike at the letters. Tillman was taking all the way. Railing's delivery. That bounced right before the plate. Tillman heads down to first. On the base on balls. And that's going to bring up Trenton Palmer.
Palmer.
And that pitch missed. Fly ball out into left field. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Move Tillman over to second. Palmer is safe at first with a base hit to left. It's going to bring up Sam Knickerbocker. Knickerbocker was on an error by the shortstop, Jewell, his last time up. Jewell fielded the ball, but it kind of rolled right up through his glove, up his arm, and fell down his back. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 runners on, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the third. And the pitch. Fly ball into shallow left field. We've got a traffic jam out there, but going back and making the catch is Jewell. So that's going to bring up Caden Erickson with 2 down. Erickson drew a walk and scored a run. High pop up. Jewell circling underneath. Backs up and makes the catch. That almost fooled him. The pretty good breeze blowing out to straightaway center field, and I think that ball got caught by the wind a little bit, but Jewell held on. And the Cavaliers come away with no runs on 1 hit. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we've played 3, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Royal Credit Union's low rates and flexible terms on auto loans can help keep your payments low. Get a great rate on your next car or truck purchase, or refinance an existing vehicle with an auto loan from Royal Credit Union. Royal also offers loans for buying or refinancing boats, UTVs, and other vehicles. Royal Credit Union wants to help keep your payments low. Check rates and apply for a Royal Credit Union vehicle loan online at rcu.org/autorate. Subject to credit approval.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do,
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
So we're getting back into the bottom or top of the 4th inning. And Dan is doing a tour of Carson Park on the camera today.
Yeah, we got the one pole right in the way. I can't get Carson Park in. So you're seeing Karen Park.
Okay. Eli Rathke starting his 4th inning of work. He's faced 1 more than the minimum. And that pitch is inside for a ball. This is to Austin Jewell. Jewell grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. There's a strike. A ball and a strike. Rathke winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Jewell was way out in front of that one. Rathke delivers. Fastball inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Curveball.
First baseman, pass.
That's the 3rd strikeout for Rathke. Next, Kretovics. Did I get it right?
That's right.
Dan's nodding, and I got it right. Okay. It only took me to the 4th inning. Fly ball out to center field. Moving back is Palmer. And he makes the over-the-shoulder catch. That's the 2nd time Kretovics has flown out to Palmer. That's going to bring up Dennis Scribner. He grounded to short his last time up. And the pitch. There's a strike called. Here's the wind in the pitch. Foul ball down the 3rd baseline. Rathke looking in. No balls, 2 strikes. Line shot out toward left field. Coming in and making the sinking catch is Pillman. So, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Millers, and we've played 3.5. And it's Cavaliers 2, the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Hi. I'm your retirement fear. But don't be scared. You're still in pre-retirement.
Does that mean I have more time to plan?
Precisely. Here, this is pretirement.org.
Retirement savings options? Potential tax breaks.
Move.
This isn't scary. I'm doing it.
You got this.
Visit thisispretirement.org for free resources to help you customize your action plan.
And we're back here at Carson Park. Cavaliers coming to the plate for the bottom of the 4th inning. Demnister, Mueller, and Dayton are due up.
The bottom of the 4th and weirder. Third baseman.
Demnister blew out to left field his last time up. Got a little too much under it. If he gets a chance to square it up, that would have been a base hit, maybe. There's the pitch. Kind of like that one, but that's foul. That turned on that one pretty well, but that had all kinds of distance.
Yeah, you know, as the season goes along here, you know, it's a warm day, the ball's going to have a little more pop.
Especially with the wind blowing out. There's a line shot and snagged with snow cone style. It looked just like a snow cone by Ragsdale over at third base. And he's getting a little razzing over there from Ryan Bemnister, who has a big grin on his face. Because Ragsdale just robbed Xavier of an extra base hit. First pitch is outside to Cade Mueller, who doubled his last time up. That was an RBI double. And that pitch is outside. Who knows the count? Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Cade Mueller at the plate. Here's the pitch. That one was outside. And a chopper over to third. Ragsdale tosses over to first, and they got him. It's going to bring up Cody Dayton. Dayton also doubled his last time up with an RBI double to left. Reeling, delivers, and there's a strike at the letters. Reeling delivers. That's in the dirt. And now the pitch. That's a strike called. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. Line shot right back into the glove of Reeling. Well, that's 2 line drives straight into gloves by the Cavaliers. And they come away with no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We have played 4 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
C&K Construction is your source for high-quality concrete and construction work in the Chippewa Valley. Established in 2014, C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls is a leading concrete contractor proud to serve Eau Claire, Altoona, Menominee, and surrounding areas. Specializing in concrete construction, excavating, flatwork poured walls, and much more, they're right for all of your concrete needs. Call C&K Construction in Chippewa Falls at 715-559-1335.
Life's daily battles are not meant to be fought alone.
We're not powerless, so long as we don't lose sight of what's important.
Don't be afraid to seize that moment to talk to your friends.
Cloud, you okay?
Because checking in on a friend can create a safe space.
The first step on our new journey. You coming?
Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Seize the awkward. It's totally worth it.
We head to the top of the 5th inning. Eli Rathke on the mound for the Cavaliers.
For the Millers.
And due up for the Millers is Albright, Magnuson, and Cunningham. For Mark Albright stepping in. He struck out his first time up. There's a line shot out into left field for a base hit. Well, that's the first base hit in over 11 innings given up by the Cavalier pitching. That's going to bring Magnuson And there's a ground ball. Throw over to second for one. Throw to first. And they got him. A 5-4-3 double play. Brady Cunningham will be the next batter now with 2 outs and nobody on.
Regular Brady.
So it was Bemnister over to Dayton, who fired it over to Windishausen for the double play. The first pitch to Cunningham is a swung on missed strike. And the 0-1 pitch, line shot out into left field. That's a base hit. That's going to go extra bases, possibly. He rounds first. No, he thought about it, but didn't go. So Cunningham is on with a single.
Sure.
Corbin Reeling. He was hit by the pitch his last time up. And the pitch. That's high for a ball. Throw it on to first and back in time is Cunningham. Rathke looks over at first. And the pitch. Swung on a miss. Got a little piece of it. A ball and a strike. And the 1-1 pitch. Fly ball to right field. Mueller going over. It's going to fall in for a hit. And the runner gets over to third. So we have runners on the corners now as Reeling singles to right. Puts Albright on third. Or check that. That's Cunningham on third. That's going to bring up Dan Ragsdale. He flew out to center field his last time up. Fouled down the first baseline. And the pitch. Line shot caught by Erickson at the shortstop. So, no runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. We have completed 4.5, and it's the Cavaliers 2 and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal. The sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us, on the roads that unite us. Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to be the fuel that keeps you firing on all cylinders.
Visit either of Eau Claire's 2 locally owned Napa Auto Parts stores on Highway 93 or North Claremont Avenue.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training on a Friday afternoon, and the very next day he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. You don't know how much somebody can hide what's going on inside their head. Store your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Back here at Carson Park, as we're going to head into the bottom of the 5th inning. Cavs holding a 2-0 lead over the New Richmond Millers. New up for the Cavaliers, we have Windishausen, Delikowski, and Steele. Carson Windishausen fouled out to the first baseman. His first time up. And the pitch, swung on a miss, strike one. And the pitch, line shot, out into left field, just off the glove of Jewell at shortstop. That ball just kind of floated past Jewell, but Windishausen is on with a base hit.
Yes, remember, big sexy throw. Yeah, helps me.
That's going to bring up Delikowski, who grounded to short. Real high hopper. It's one of those where Delikowski could have used the superpower that he said he wished he had. And that was speed. Pitch is outside for a ball. 2 balls, no strikes. Two balls and a strike to Delikowski. Check swing foul. Counts even at 2-2. And the pitch. Line shot out in the left field for a base hit. Windishausen's going to check in at second. Delikowski at first. And that's going to bring up Dalton Steele. Steele went down looking his first time up.
Dalton. Steele.
Steve Kent working on his nicknames. This is Dalton, the man of steel. And he offered at that bunt for a strike. 2 on, nobody out. Steele looking at maybe moving the runners over. Reeling at the belt. That pitch was inside. One and one is the count. And it's fouled back into the screen. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Outside ice cream and banger.
And the pitch. Strike called. That's the second time Steele's gone down looking. It's going to bring up Brayton Tillman. Tillman flew out to left and then drew a walk. Reeling looks in and now glances back at second and delivers. Pitches outside for a ball. Carson Windishausen out on second. Jerome Delikowski at first. And the 1-0 pitch, Tillman is outside, ball 2. Delikowski working a little bit on, or not Delikowski, Windishausen working on getting the peripheral vision, swinging and a miss, or foul back for a strike. Yeah, Windishausen takes his first lead and then is kind of moving a little bit on as Reeling commits to the plate, and it's getting his attention. Fly ball out into center field, going to fall in for a base hit. Windishausen's going to hold up at third. He had to wait to see if that ball would be caught. But Tillman is on with a single to center field. So the bases are loaded. Windeshausen at third. Delikowski at second. Tillman at first. And we have a conference at the mound. One out.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Do you take the runner at home or do you try to turn the double play?
Yeah, they would have a little bit of a conference out there. And you're right, Dan. I think this is more of a defensive conference than dealing with the pitcher. And the conference breaks up. Everybody goes back from whence they came.
Right for the Cavaliers, center Tim.
Trenton Palmer steps to the plate. Palmer flew out to center and singled to left. He's 1 for 2. That pitch is high for a ball. Runners take their leads. Reeling delivers to Palmer. It's outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Sam Knickerbocker on deck. The 2-0 pitch. It's outside, ball 3. There is nowhere to put him. Palmer will not be swinging on this pitch. He's going to take all the way. And that's the get me over strike. Just kind of lobbed it, made sure it got through the strike zone. 3-1 pitch now. This is the hitter's pitch. Swing and a miss. The count goes full. Still nowhere to put him.
Now watch this one down and away. That's kind of been his strikeout pitch down there.
Reeling at the belt, and he delivers. It was low and inside. So an RBI walk for Trenton Palmer. Brings Carson Windeshausen to the plate to score a run. And coming to the plate to bat is Sam Knickerbocker with the bases full. Now we have Delikowski on third. And Tillman is on second. Pitch is high and tight to Knickerbocker. Palmer's on first. 1 out. Cavs are on top, 3-0. There's a chopper foul on the first base side. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 3 runners on. Here's the pitch. Fly ball out towards left field. It's going to fall. 1 run again. Here comes the second one. Delikowski coming in. Throw to third. And they call him safe at third. Coming in and scoring is Delikowski and Tillman. And Knickerbocker is on with a double. And we're going to get a conference at the mound, which means we're going to get a pitching change. We'll get that straightened out right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
As Caden Erickson comes to the plate, new pitcher for the Millers is Brady Cunningham. Swinging and a miss by Erickson. Defensively, Cunningham came in from right field, so Betterkind moved over to right. Long fly ball by Erickson. This one's fairly deep, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Erickson's going into second as 2 runs come in to score. That puts the Cavaliers up on top, 7-0. And it's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister, who's 0 for 2. Actually, those 2 runs that came in to score are being charged to Reeling. And Bemnister squares to bunt and puts it back into the screen. The numbers for Reeling, he went 4 1/3 innings because those runners scored. That the book is closed on him. So 4 1/3, 7 runs. They were all earned on 7 hits, struck out 2 and walked 3. And there's a strike called at the letters. No ball, 2 strikes to Xavier Bemnister. There's short center field coming in hard. It's going to fall in for a hit. Erickson couldn't go anywhere because he wasn't sure if it was going to be caught. But Bemnister is on with a base hit. Texas leaguer, just as Wee Willie Keeler would have been very proud of him because he hit it where they ain't. That's going to bring up Cade Mueller. He doubled his first time up and then grounded to third. A throw over to second, and back in safely is Erickson, but the ball scoots out in the center field, and both runners advance. I think that's going to be an error on the shortstop for letting the ball go through. And that pitch is inside. And the pitch. High pop foul out of play.
That ball brought to you by World Premium. You'll trust in the rising for the game and stage away.
Cavaliers have runners at second and third. Erickson at third. Bemnister at second. Cade Mueller at the plate. 2-1 is the count. 1 out. There's a fly ball out into center field. Moving over is Albright. He makes the catch. Erickson tags. He's coming to the plate, and he's in to score. Bedminster moves over to third. So, give Mueller a sacrifice fly to center field. And, of course, an RBI in that situation.
Second baseman Cody Dayton.
So 2 down. That pitch is high. And that pitch missed. 2-0. And it's outside for a ball.
Nope. He called it a strike.
Well, how about that? I tell you what, to me, it looked like it was in the middle of the left-handed batter's box, but swing and a miss for strike 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down.
That was the exact same pitch right there.
That's a situation where Dayton had to chase it since he saw it get called a strike. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. But the Cavaliers do some damage. 6 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and
The Cavaliers in line of fifth, 6 runs, 6 hits.
1 left on base.
Left on base.
So we've played 5 innings, and it's the Cavaliers 8, and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
The Eau Claire Cavaliers would like to take veterans out to the ball game. That's right. As a thank you for your service, any veteran of the United States military can receive a lifetime pass for free admission to all Cavalier home games. Just come to Carson Park with your veteran identification, and the Cavaliers will issue you a free lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games. That's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service.
The Phoenix are rising. NLWN-2 and the Northern Light Webcasting Network are excited to be your home for Chippewa Valley Phoenix semi-pro football. Our next game will be on June 22nd when the Phoenix will face the Wisconsin Ravens at Carson Park. Follow the Phoenix as they battle their way through the Northern Lights Football League on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and NLWN-2. That's exciting Chippewa Valley Phoenix football on June 22nd.
There's some defensive changes for the Cavaliers. Now playing second base for Cody Dayton is Mason Yarrington. And out in left field, replacing Brayton Tillman, is Ashton Kroll. There's a high pop-up into shallow center field. Coming in is Palmer, and he makes the catch. Palmer showing some standing range out in center field. That was Vetterkind who went down. It's going to bring up Jacob Miller. He grounded to second his first time up.
Miller.
Rathke delivers. There's a high pop-up. Coming in is Windeshausen, and he makes the catch. Goes back to the top of the order. Austin Jewell coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Grounded to the pitcher and struck out looking.
That wasn't you.
And the first pitch is high and away for a ball. We have some activity going on in the bullpen for the Millers. Dan, can you get a number of the guy walking, the second guy back there? Here's the pitch. There's a strike on the inside corner. See, what's down there? Swing and a miss. Strike two. Counts even at 2-2.
What's down? I'm losing him. He's heading down the dugout.
And that pitch missed. Count goes full now to Austin Jewell. And the payoff pitch. And that got him in the shoulder. So a 2 down. Stepping to the plate is Max Kretovics. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to center field twice. And the pitch. Line shot right back up the middle and into center field. It almost took the feet out of Rathke. So we have runners at first and second. Jewell is at second. Kretovics at first. And Bennett Scribner comes to the plate. Rathke checking second. Now he delivers. Pitches outside, throw down to first. And they almost got him. Windeshausen couldn't quite hang on to it. That ball was right in there. Good throw that time by Knickerbocker.
Yeah, I don't know where he thought he was going. He had the guy in second yet.
Actually, 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, actually, the Cavaliers bullpen.
And it's fouled back.
Number 12.
It's Tyson Woodcock going to warm up down in the bullpen for the Cavs. Rathke's at the belt. And he delivers. That's outside. Knickerbocker blocked it. Two balls and 1 strike with 2 down, 2 on. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Rathke delivers. Fly ball out into center field. Palmer ranging over. He's under it, and he makes the catch for the 3rd out. So for the Millers, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base. We played 5.5, and it's the Cavaliers 8 and the Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
Ready for a better way to bank? Switch to Royal Credit Union. Royal Credit Union is a financial co-op, not a corporation, so we return earnings to our members. That means you get low or no fees for account services and better rates on deposits and loans. You'll also have all the digital tools you need at your fingertips, so managing your account is easy. Royal is ready to help you discover the credit union difference. Switch to Royal Credit Union today at rcu.org/difference. Insured by NCUA.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Oh, we have a new rump on the bump down there for the New Richmond Millers. Tate Magnuson is now on the mound. And numbers for Brady Cunningham. Well, he went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 run on, or checked that, no runs on 1 hit, and he struck out 1. So that also means there will be some defensive positioning changes for the Millers. So, Dan, get out your binoculars.
Let's see.
Who's playing second base? Because that's where Magnuson came from.
No, who's up first?
I'll break your arm. You say who's on first. Actually, Reeling went over to second base. No, that's 27 at second base, I think. Oh, well. Oh, Jewel went to second.
Playing third is number 17.
That didn't change.
Playing shortstop is
27. That's Reeling. Who's in left field?
Left field is number 13. No. I got to turn my glasses a little farther.
Is it 31?
It's a 3.
Pitch is high.
31.
So, 2 balls, no strikes to Carson Windeshausen. And there's a ground ball foul down the third baseline.
That ball was by Roadside Ice Cream and Banker. And
2 balls and a strike to Carson Windeshausen. Windeshausen fouled out and singled, scored a run. That pitch is outside for ball 3. Here's the pitch. That's outside ball 4. Windeshausen draws a walk. Take a look at the Millers defensively now that we have it all figured out. Behind the plate is Scribner. At third base is Ragsdale. Reeling is now at short. Jall is at second. And Kredovic is at first. First pitch to Delikowski is inside for a ball. Delikowski grounded to short and singled. Out in the outfield is Cunningham, Albright, and Betterkind going left to right. There's another pitch inside. 2-0 is the count to Delikowski. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Windeshausen is in safely. Three balls, no strikes to Delikowski. Magnuson delivers, and it's high ball 4. Now there are runners at first and second for the Cavaliers. Coming up is Dalton Steele. Steele has gone down looking twice. So, of course, with a name like Steele, Steve Kent is playing Iron Man. Magnuson at the belt and delivers. That's low for a ball. He looks in for the sign. Runners take their leads. He takes a look at second and delivers. That's a strike on the inside corner. Runner goes, fouled off the right side. Windeshausen rolled his eyes on that one. Man, I got all the way over here. Now I got to go back. A ball and 2 strikes.
One thing we didn't see is we didn't see Delakowski go.
This is true. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on a miss. Oh, got a piece of it, and it rolled away. So the count holds at 1-2. A new lease on life here for Steele. And the pitch. There's a base hit out in the right field. Windeshausen checks in at third. And the bases are loaded for the top of the order. Windeshausen on third, Delakowski on second. Dalton Steele is on first. And stepping to the plate is Ashton Kroll. Kroll comes into the game batting .222. The pitch is outside for a ball. Here's the pitch. That's high, ball 2. Magnuson delivers. There's a strike on the outside corner. You know, Dan, we talked about how an umpire needs to be consistent. He has called that pitch a strike all day.
Outside low. Inside low.
There's a line shot down the third baseline, foul. Hunter O'Reilly chases it down into the bullpen. Yeah. Here's the pitch. Pop foul out of play. Off the roof of the grandstand. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Ashton Kroll. He's in the lineup replacing Brayton Tillman. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Full count, nobody out. Nowhere to put him. And the payoff pitch. That's outside. Oh, they called a strike. And Ashton Kroll can't believe it. He was ready to head to first. And he had a couple of words for the umpire on that one.
Cavaliers. Number 12. That's a job by the catcher to kind of frame it.
Yeah.
But he got it. Got the call.
That's going to bring up Trenton Palmer. There's the pitch high. 1 ball, no strikes. Bases loaded, 1 out. Palmer's 1 for 2. He's singled. There's a strike on the outside corner. He also flew out to center field and picked up an RBI walk his last trip to the plate. There's a fly ball out into center field. That's going to hit the warning track and 1 bounce to wall. Windeshausen coming in. Delakowski coming in. Here comes the throw to the plate. And it's a score. Is Dalton Steele a bases clearing double. for Trenton Palmer. Putting the Cavaliers on top 11-0.
Check this in. Think about this.
Sam Knickerbocker stepping to the plate. Knickerbocker is 1 for 3. He got a 2 RBI double his last time up. He also got on an error and popped out to short. Runner at second. And the pitch is high for a ball. That's Trenton Palmer out at second. And the pitch. That's a strike on the inside corner. And the pitch. Hard shot ground ball over to second, picked up by Jawl, throw over to first in time. That's going to bring up Caden Erickson. Erickson's 1 for 2. He hit a 2 RBI double his last time up. He eventually came around and scored. He also drew a walk and scored and popped out to short. So he scored a couple of runs. He's got a double. He's got a couple RBIs. Pretty good day for Caden Erickson. That pitch is outside. On that ground ball by Knickerbocker, Palmer ended up over on third. So the Cavs do have a runner on third. 2 down. 1-0 is the count to Erickson. And the pitch. That's high. Ball 2. And the pitch. That's down low. Ball 3. Three and 0 is the count. Here's a situation where you might think about giving Erickson the green light. And the pitch. He was taking all the way, strike on the outside corner. Three balls and 1 strike. And outside, ball 4. Second walk given up to Caden Erickson. It's going to bring up Xavier Bemnister. Single to center field his last time up. Dropped one right in the middle of all the traffic. So now there's runners on the corners. I suspect Erickson will be going soon. There's a line shot out in center field. Palmer comes in to score. Erickson's at second. Bemnister at first. That line shot almost took the head off Magnuson on the mound. So, Connor O'Reilly comes to the plate. Swing and a miss, strike 1. O'Reilly batting for Cade Mueller. I suspect he'll be out in right field then. And there's a pitch inside. And the pitch. Ground ball, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on. 4 runs in this inning. Cavaliers on top, 12-0. And a strike called on the outside corner. So, for the Cavaliers, they pick up 4 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors, and 2 were left on base. So we have played 6, and it's the Cavaliers 12 and the New Richmond Millers nothing on NLWN-TV.
If your estate isn't looking quite estate-like, let Midwest Environmental Consultants landscape your estate right up to snuff with installation of retaining walls, brick patios, foundation planting beds, and so much more. Then they'll keep it that way with their expert lawn care service. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your estate the showplace of the neighborhood.
Yeah, I think one of the things us veterans are hoping for is soon the cabin will be built.
It's going to be amazing to be able to come to a place like this and stay at a cabin with amazing people, animals, a view, and get away from it all.
Country Haven Farms is fundraising to complete our cabin, giving Wisconsin veterans and their families a much-needed escape in the Northwoods. Donations of any amount are encouraged, and sponsorships are available at all levels. To make a donation or sponsorship, please visit our website or give us a call.
We're going to head into the top of the 7th inning. I want to remind you the 10-run rule is still in effect. So if the Cavaliers can hold the Millers here in the 7th, that'd be the ball game. Cavaliers on top, 12-0. Pretty good pitching performance today by Eli Rathke. Nice bounce back performance from his last outing. Richmond. Due up for the New Richmond Millers. There's Albright, Magnuson, and Cunningham. And there's a ground ball over to third, picked up by Bemnister. Throw over to first, and they got him. That's going to bring up Tate Magnuson. He's 0 for 2, grounded to short, and then grounded into a third to second to first double play. We have a pinch hitter for him, Ethan Cook. And the pitch is inside for a ball. And there's a pop foul out of play. Ethan Cook at the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 down, and the pitch. Strike called on the outside corner. And the pitch. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Strike 3 called on the inside corner. 2 down. Brady Cunningham coming to the plate. The last hope for the Millers. And the pitch. Fly ball out in left field, foul territory. It's out of play. No balls and a strike. Cunningham's 1 for 2. He singled to left his last time up. There's a fly ball out into center field. It's going to fall in for a base hit. So Brady Cunningham having a decent day today. He's 2 for 3. That's going to bring up Corbin Reeling.
The shortstop, Corbin Reeling.
He's now playing shortstop. He was the starting pitcher today. There's a little looper just out into shallow right field. Yarrington couldn't get there. So now there's 2 runners on. With Cunningham at second, Reiling at first. Well, Reeling at first. And Dan Ragsdale comes to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He flew out to center field and hit a line shot right to Erickson's glove. His second time up. There's a ground ball. Erickson can't quite get there. And bases are now loaded. 3 straight singles. It was just out of the reach of Erickson. Brian Bemnister goes to the mound to have a chat. And going to see if he's going to, I suspect he's going to leave Rathke in there to try to get this last out. And that's exactly what he's doing. He just had a little quick conversation to set his mind at ease out there, I guess.
Just 1 out. Just trying to Browder.
My guess is he treats Rathke kind of like he did with Andrew Milner yesterday. He goes out there to settle things down by telling a joke. At least that's what he says he does out there. There's a strike at the letters. As our computer operator yesterday said, must have been a pretty good joke. And
Yeah, we never get to hear him.
swing and a miss, strike 2. Especially since Milner went on to pitch a no-hitter. Brett Fetterkind at the plate. He's 0 for 2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Last strike for the Millers. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. And the pitch. Line shot right into the and that's it. For the Millers, no runs, or 3 hits. And no errors. 3 were left on base. So, final score, Cavaliers 12 and the New Richmond Millers nothing. And we will talk more about this game on Talking Baseball coming up right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
You've been watching Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. This copyrighted presentation has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network in conjunction with the Eau Claire Cavaliers and is intended for the enjoyment of the viewing and listening audience. Any broadcast, rebroadcast, or reproduction in any form without the express written consent of the Northern Light Webcasting Network LLC and the Eau Claire Cavaliers is prohibited. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Talkin' Baseball, with a look back at today's game.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Time now for Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier game. And now, back out to the ballpark.
Back here at Carson Park, where the Cavaliers just came away winners by a score of 12-0. Second game in a row that the Cavaliers have come out on top 12-0. And second real solid pitching performance by the Cavs. I mean, no way did I expect Rathke to throw a no-hitter today or anything like that, but he threw a 7-inning shutout. That's 14 consecutive innings without allowing a run by the Cavaliers, and it may be more than that if you go back to the previous game, the last couple innings of the previous game. But that's a pretty impressive run of numbers there, Dan.
Yeah, good job by the defense today for the Cavs. So that I didn't get to go yesterday, but yeah, that's the way the Cavs have played their game or their season so far. Their defense holds them in every game, and they just kind of hang around, and then all of a sudden the bats get hot, and then they get their runs.
In fact, to illustrate what you're saying, for the Millers today, they had no runs on 7 hits. They did commit 2 errors and left 8 on base. But for the Cavaliers, they had 12 runs on 12 hits. They committed no errors. They did leave 6 runners on base, but real good numbers for the Cavaliers. I expect we'll get Ryan Bemnister up here any second now. I saw him heading over in that direction. And winning pitcher, by the way, Eli Rathke went the distance. 7 innings, gave up no runs on 7 hits. He struck out 4 and did not walk anybody. He did hit a couple batters. Those were the only free passes. So I guess you have to pay with some physical pain to get a free pass out of Rathke today.
Yeah. Yeah, good control, except for those couple pitches. And
Corbin Reeling was the losing pitcher for the Millers. And I hear footsteps coming up the walkway, and so we're going to... I hear him. And here comes Ryan Bemnister as... Well, that was a pretty nice Father's Day gift your son gave you by catching that line shot at the end of the game.
That ball was stung. Holy cow. Weird to tell. I told the boys after the game, after we were all done there, I said, this is why I love the game of baseball, because you can have 3 weakly hit baseballs lead to 3 hits, and the hardest hit ball in the inning is the last out of the inning.
Right.
It's just so much fun to me.
Went right into a glove.
Yep. He didn't have to do anything but this.
And that was more out of self-preservation than anything.
100%. 100%. He caught that one with his eyes open, though.
Okay, now what are you feeding these guys that you had 2 outstanding pitching performances in a row? Because Eli Rathke, that was a great bounce-back performance after his last outing.
Yeah. You and I had that conversation about getting these guys some bounce backs. It worked out that day for Eli. I mean, he was on target. His bullpen before the game was way better than it was in Augusta. His confidence level was a little bit higher. Maybe it's just something about him pitching at home. I mean, the guy's unstoppable here in Carson Park. I mean, that's what I would do 16 innings, a 2-run ball with him at Carson Park. I mean, that's pretty damn impressive. I mean, outside of that Osseo game, which we don't count it at all because it was a forfeit. So that one still weighs on my mind, everybody, if you couldn't tell. But no, it was great pitching by him. Sam called a really good game. We had great defense behind him. I told the boys to 0 on the board for errors.
Yeah. That is really impressive because we've talked a lot of this season about some of the errors that just happen to be in poor timing and so on. Well, you don't have poor timing if you don't have errors.
No, you don't. And the team's starting to come together. They've been playing pretty clean ball. They had a couple errors yesterday, and I don't think they had any on Friday, but that was a...
And the 2 yesterday weren't consequential.
No, they definitely hurt us other than having to have Milner throw a couple extra pitches here and there, which we don't want to have them do. But still, I mean, it's getting to be cleaner ball. The guys are seeing the ball better. There's a better approach at the plate. I mean, New Richmond's a good team. We're talking. They play in the same conference as Hudson and River Falls, so those guys see really good teams all the time. Good job over there by those guys. I mean, they ran into Eli. I mean, he was unstoppable today.
Yeah, Eli when he's on is really tough. And your bats are coming alive. You picked up 12 hits today.
Yep.
That's a really good number for the way the Cavs have been playing this year. And things are looking up. I mean, even Caden Erickson is hitting the ball a little better now. And okay, so you do this to me every once in a while. What's with the lineup today? That was all topsy-turvy.
So I had a feeling like Caden Mueller's been crushing the ball all year long. He was not part of this issue when I was talking about. I was thinking about Caden, and I was thinking about Hav. And Caden's been struggling for a couple weeks now, and Hav's was in a little bit of we'll call it a mini slump, whatever it was. And I thought, you know what? Maybe those two guys being 1 and 2 all year long have had a lot of pressure on them, trying to do everything for the team and this and that, set the table. And I'm like, you know what? We've got speed, we got youth, we've got good bats. Let's go ahead and flip this up a little bit. Put some of those guys. That's why I talked to Cade before the game. I'm like, I'm putting you in the 6 hole, which sounds late, but I got 5 really good hitters in front of you, and you're the one hitting the ball the best. So let's get 3 guys on for you, as opposed to having maybe one of the 2.
Right.
So I wanted to produce more runs that way. Was my thought process. And Tilly and Palmer both got on base. Knickerbocker got on base. Caden got on base. Howe got on base, and Cade drove in. It was a perfect executed type of day.
The formula worked.
Yeah. So I really like it. We'll probably run it out there for a few more non-conference games and see how it goes. But yeah, it hinders the bottom of the order a little bit because it takes away some of that speed we have down there. But the bats at the bottom of the order are hitting the ball well anyway, so it doesn't matter how fast they are.
Right. I mean, I saw Jerome Dilakowski work his tail off trying to get around and score, and he did. He scored. He scored a couple of times.
He walked from second to third on that one walk, and he looked behind him, and Tillman was already on second, and he was only halfway to third, and he looks at me and goes, "It's called a walk for a reason. I can take this off and just walk. Why do I have to run?" I'm like, well, you don't. You can walk.
He's a man after my own heart.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I looked at him after that, and I said, that ball better be in the parking lot for you to steal home. So... No, they're having fun. The boys had fun today. That's something that's been different. Even Friday night's game where they got beat up pretty good by one of the best teams in the state, I think. They've been having fun, and that's the different dynamic with us right now. I think that's why we're being more successful right now in the season, and I think it's going to keep going this way the rest of the year.
Well, coming up on Saturday, it's the Spooner Cardinals here at Carson Park.
Yes, it is.
You've already met them once, so you get a little payback time.
Yep, I already talked to the guy that's going to be on the mound, and he said he's ready to go get a payback, so we're good.
All right, sounds good. Well, happy Father's Day, Ryan. I'm glad we could celebrate it.
Happy Father's Day, all the fathers. I'm happy we got a win for you.
All right. And we will have more talking baseball right after this timeout on NLWN-TV.
Let NLWN-TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network take you out to the ballgame.
Our next game will be on Saturday, June 22nd, as the Cavaliers take on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park. Coverage begins with the In the Dugout show at 12:30, followed by live play-by-play action. That's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball on Saturday, June 22nd on NLWN-TV.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old.
But I am a camping influencer.
You know what? I'll bet you $5. Okay. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Well, we're back here at Carson Park talking a little bit of baseball, and Cavaliers come away winners today. Second day in a row by the same score, 12-0. The Cavaliers got 12 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left 6 on base, and the New Richmond Millers, no runs, 7 hits. They committed 2 errors, and they left 8 on base. Winning pitcher, Eli Rathke, he went the distance, and the losing pitcher, the loss gets tagged on, Corbin Reeling. Cavaliers' next game will be on Saturday. Make sure you join us here on NLWN-TV as we bring you the Cavaliers taking on the Spooner Cardinals from Carson Park here in Eau Claire. Coverage begins at 12:30 with the In the Dugout show, followed by live play-by-play action. First pitch is scheduled for 1 p.m. And also join us next Saturday on NLWN-2 as we bring you Chippewa Valley Phoenix football. Now, this is going to be interesting because I'm going to be over here on the baseball side of things. At the same time, Dan's going to be over on the football field getting ready to bring you Phoenix football because Phoenix Rising is scheduled to start at 1:30, and the kickoff is for 2 o'clock. So we'll be looking at each other, Dan.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe during the game we'll zoom both cameras over there at each other.
We might have to see what we can do about that. Yeah.
So.
Want to remind you also that coming up later this season, the Northern Light Webcasting Network will broadcast our 500th event. Make sure you stay tuned for special announcements and special awards for our loyal viewers. That's all coming up later in this broadcast season on the Northern Light Webcasting Network. The Eau Claire Cavaliers want to remind veterans of the United States military that they can get a lifetime pass to all Cavalier home games simply by coming to Carson Park with your veteran's identification. The Cavaliers will be happy to issue you your lifetime pass. It's just the Cavaliers' way of saying thank you for your service. Today's roadside ice cream and diner Good News Jailhouse Ministry Cavalier baseball game, that's a mouthful, has been brought to you by Menominee Eye and Optical with quality personalized care for you and your family. Your Napa Auto Parts Store, 3580 Mall Drive in Eau Claire. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax, comfort food the way Mom used to make it. Midwest Environmental Consultants, lawn care and soil testing experts for Western Wisconsin. Royal Credit Union, where they're different in a good way. And C&K Construction, concrete experts for the Chippewa Valley. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Eau Claire Cavalier Baseball on NLWN-TV. So for Ann Monroe on the computer, Dan Petchow on the camera, this is Rick Olson. And that final score once again, Cavaliers 12, the New Richmond Millers nothing. To all fathers, happy Father's Day. And we'll see you back here on Saturday on NLWN-TV.
You have been tuned to Talkin' Baseball with a wrap-up of today's Eau Claire Cavalier baseball game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN-TV.